Welcome to the third Wellsboro Varsity Volleyball match of the 2021 season. Today is Thursday, September 17th, and we are at the Wellsboro High School Gymnasium. Your announcers for tonight's contest are Jody Niver and Ann McKnight, both former coaches of the Wellsboro Varsity Volleyball team. The 2020 Pennsylvania State safety protocols do not allow spectators, including parents, at indoor events. There's a 25-person limit inside, and the team's officials and staff require those spots. We have limited resources to make this presentation, but we will strive to bring you the best show available. It is with the parents and fans in mind that we endeavor to bring the third match of the season to you. Coach Niver and I are familiar with the normal procedures used, and we will be learning with you as new rules impact play. Procedures in this unique season include, although there is no public address announcer, the national anthem will be played. Team substitutes will be waiting in the locker room until summoned to play. Volleyballs will be wiped clean at least to start every set, if not more frequently. Teams will not change benches or court side. There'll be no high fives and no post-match handshakes. There are no corner line judges this season, eliminating 2 people from the restricted list of 25. Instead of sharing the court for warm-ups, one team at a time will be on the court with the other team staying in the locker room. The happiest people about the no spectators rule are the officials who won't receive any verbal abuse. Now would be a good time for listeners to get that official's license. PIAA officials are desperately needed in all sports. The Wellsboro Hornet Volleyball team is a Class AA team in the Pennsylvania Interscholastic Athletic Association. The Northern Tier League is divided into the Large Schools Division and the Small Schools Division. Schools comprising the large schools are Wellsboro, Athens, Troy, Towanda, and North Penn Liberty. Schools comprising the Small Schools Division are Canton, Kawanesky Valley, Northeast Bradford, Wyalusing, Williamson, and Sayre. The standard procedure is to play every school twice within your division and 1 time in the other division. Due to playing only NTL teams, this year's Hornet schedule is reduced from 22 matches last year to 14 matches this year. The coaching staff includes the Hornets' 2-time District 4 champion head coach, Sharon Hickey Zahusky, and first-year JV coach, brother-in-law, Jeff Zahusky. Wellsboro High School and Lycoming College standout volleyball and softball player, Darcy Warner, serves as a volunteer varsity assistant. Ed Weaver is in his 2nd year as the Wellsboro Athletic Director. The game manager tonight is Michelle McNett. Our media specialist is Shane Cleveland. The officials for tonight's match are Andy Boyer and Pete Lipkowski. Since the last home match, Wellsboro traveled to Williamson on Tuesday, resulting in another victory for the Hornet varsity by scores of 25-17, 25-17, and 26-24. The JVs lost to Williamson 22-25 and 19-25. Tonight showcases a matchup of 2 NTL schools in the large division. Wellsboro welcomes Troy.
For this evening's starting lineups for the Troy Trojans, coached by Catherine Zimmerman in her 2nd year, we have number 23, Vanessa Thomas, number 21, Ann Rosanelli, number 35, Delaney Brown, number 19, Sierra Yagi, number 2, Olivia Damas, and number 14, Macy Roman. The libero will be number 11, Allie Dutrow. At this time, the players are spreading out on the court to stand for the national anthem that will be sung this evening by JV player Olivia Chilson. So please stand and with us. And now for the varsity lineup for the Wellsboro Hornets under Coach Sharon Zahusky. Number 2, a senior, Bree Kemp. Number 3, a junior, Emma Owlett. Number 14, a senior, Shiloh Duff. Number 11, JoJo Judlin. Number 17, JoJo Judlin, a junior. Number 19, Olivia Krakow, senior. And senior, Bailey Monks, number 20. Our libero this evening is number 4, Catherine Burnett, also a senior. The players are headed right now to the locker room that won't be on the floor to keep the number here in the gym at 25. And hopefully everything will flow as smoothly as it did that first game here.
The Wellsboro colors are green and white. The mascot is the Hornet. The 2019-20 Hornets had a season record of 18-4. The Hornets lost 3 players to graduation. The next Hornet match is Tuesday, September 22nd at Towanda. The next home match is Tuesday, September 29th versus Canton. This will be our annual Senior Parents Tribute Night. All varsity matches are set to start at 7:30, but are dependent on the end time of the JV match. The Wellsboro has 6 seniors acting as captains. They rotate the job. Bree Kemp is the Hornet floor captain.
The captain for Troy is Vanessa Thomas, number 23. So if something goes awry on the floor, these ladies are the ones who have the right to speak to the referees directly. And they are the only ones with that right. It is time to get to action. Troy serves. We see the Hornets handle the ball, but it goes over as a free ball. It is set outside to number 21, Rosanelli, but dug by Krakow. Outside hit by Owlett, and we have number 35, Brown, is in the net. Bree Kemp is up to serve for the Hornets. Troy handles it. They have to save it there from that serve. It is handled easily by Kemp. Easy set to the middle to Monks, who hits it, but it's dug by Troy. Back row attempt. Just a bit short. Point on the board. That time ball goes to Dutrow. It is a bit outside. It's a push deep by Dutrow. Krakow gets it to Kemp. It is a nice solid hit, but Brown blocks it back. Hornets handle it. We have a flurry at the net. Monks brings it hard and finds the floor. She made that look easy. That's a hard cut to do. Ball is received by Troy. Nice outside hit by 21, Rosanelli, but it's a bit long. It appears that it pulled someone into the net. I'm not sure who they said. Did you see? Troy serves the ball. It is handled, but there's some miscommunication in the front row, and the ball finds the floor. Rosanelli back to serve again. Nice hard serve handled by Burnett. Middle set with a tip by Monks. Perfect placement as the Trojans have to scurry and cannot bring it back up. Wellsboro's Owlett back to serve. It's a deep serve. That was a beautiful pass to set the whole standard, but it is a lift by number 2, DeMoss. Thomas handles that ball, but it ends up being a free ball over the net, handled by the Hornets outside to Krakow, who drives it hard, but Dutrow digs it. Troy sets it up. It did not hit the floor by Monks. She's looking for that last block. Troy handles it, tips it over. Kemp is out. Judlin tries to do the dump pass, but she brings it too far outside her shoulder. She's got to keep that inside so it's a carry. I see Coach Zahusky telling her how to correct that there. Brown back to serve. Burnett passes it, but it's a little deep, so it is passed.
Close call. I'll remind you that in volleyball, hitting the line is in. In other sports such as basketball or the throwing in track implements, if it hits the line, it is out. In volleyball, it is in.
Bailey Monks is back to serve right now for the Hornets. She goes down the line to Thomas. It is set outside to DeMoss. Pass nice and high to Kemp. Outside hit to Crocco, who's able to find the hole in the back middle.
I'd like to comment on the Wellsboro gym. In my opinion, it's the best gym because of the high ceiling. Volleyball is a sport that's played around the net basically, and you need a high ceiling. Many gyms don't have that, and you have to play off the obstruction as long as the ball comes back down to the team that caused it to hit the obstruction.
We have an outside hit by Crocco. Shiloh Duff controls the net. It is punched back up in an attempt to keep it from hitting the floor, and it goes out of bounds, and so it's Wellsboro's point. Bailey Monk still continuing to serve. That's a little long this time.
The liberos enter the game between the attack line and the end line, and a normal substitution is supposed to enter between the net and the 10-foot spiking line. As you see now, this is a regular substitution, but a minute ago, Wellsboro's number 4 went in as a libero between the attack line and the end line.
Number 19, Yagi back to serve, nice and deep. Alex struggles to handle it, and it is a point for Troy. Nice, beautiful, hard serve by Yagi. Beautiful hustle by Alec to save Burnett's pass. Burnett does a free ball. It's just a bit wide. This is a close match here this evening. Yagi serve a little low this time, nice and strong, but just catches the tape and rolls on the Trojan side. So JoJo Judlin is going back to serve. Nice serve right over to Yagi. It is set up for the middle hitter, a little deep to Burnett, who handles it easily. Crocco's ready. She hits it over. It is dug. A free ball over by Troy. It is set up again by Wellsboro, and Crocco hits it into the top of the tape. I believe that's Tira Williams, who just went back to serve. She has a deep serve this time. Alec passes it beautifully outside to Judlin, who sets to Kemp, tips it deep. It is handled back and forth at the net. Dutrow sets it up to the setter, and it is a bit wide on the back set, forcing Thomas to hit the antenna, so it is Wellsboro's ball. Crocco again to serve. Nice float serve that time. It is passed up, a little overpass. Duff handles it and is able to not quite get the kill, but she's able to pull the error out of them.
A set is to 25 points, but you have to have a 2-point advantage. We're at 11-8 now in the first set. You have to play the best of 5.
It is a low and hard serve by Crocco, but it goes a bit long. The Trojans, liberos back to serve, number 11, Dutrow. She serves to Burnett, who passes nice and high to Judlin, outside to Owlett. Nice hit down the line. It is set up. Number 35, Brown, hits it deep. Wellsboro scrambles a bit and gets it back over the net. Dug again by Williams. Back to the middle hit. She goes to the other side this time. Outside again to Owlett, and it's just a bit long this time. I think both teams are finally starting to get the nerves out a little bit there.
We believe this is Troy's first match. Wellsboro has played Kalinowski and Williamson and won both of those varsity matches so far.
Burnett back to serve for Wellsboro. It is set to the middle. That was a nice hit. Dug by Kemp. Judlin gets it to Monks, who free balls it over. Troy handles it back to the middle. It is number 35, Brown, who goes up for it. And Monks attempts to get that block. I know she wants that title. She wants that number. I shouldn't say title. 23, Thomas serves. Kemp digs it. Judlin scrambles a bit. It's over. It is set up outside. Nice approach, but nice big hands there. And there it is. There's the block that we've been waiting for.
It's a wonderful accomplishment to have 100 blocks in a career. In the 8 years that Coach Hickey has coached, Kirsten Florio and Kaylin Keene are the only other two Hornets to reach 100 blocks. An awesome achievement. Bailey Monks.
Yes, well done. Congratulations, Bailey. All right. Kemp is back to serve. That just touches the top of the net, goes over. We know that is legal, and it pulls the ace as a result. Hold it. There is a timeout by Roy.
The basic idea of volleyball for the novice spectator out there is you are allowed 3 contacts. The idea is to use those allotted 3 contacts per side. You want to return the ball the best way to deceive the opponent. A block does not count as a hit. The ball is typically bumped by the forearms to a setter near the net, who then sets it to a hitter in the front row. It can be set to the right, center, or left, with fake arm strikes confusing the opposition. The hitter can strike the ball hard to spike or kill it to the floor, or tip it softly over a block. The goal is to hit the floor, thus scoring a point. That's why it's not like gym ball, where they're just bombing the ball back and forth across the net. It's a concerted effort to bump, set, and spike.
All right. Score is Wellsboro 15, Troy Trojans 11. All right, so they make sure of the lineup yet again, and Wellsboro is preparing to serve. Kemp is up again. Kemp serves down the line, difficult to handle. It ends up being a free ball over. Krakow handles it. It goes outside to Owlett, who hits the cross court. It's dug by Troy, a little deep, so they scramble at the net. This time handled by Wellsboro down the middle. Bailey tips it over, but it's a little over, and there she goes. Oh my goodness, you saw that happening right there. If you're gonna overpass her once, that's an oops. Over twice, be ready, because she will be ready each time. She loves that hit. Williams passes that ball outside. Brown gets it, and that tip was effective in that there was a slight out of position. They weren't quite low enough ready to dig that, and so Troy gets the ball back.
A reminder that we don't have corner line judges tonight, because that would take up 2 spots where we can't have more than 25 in the gym.
Rosanelli is back to serve. Beautiful serve. One of the tough parts about not having an audience or not having line judges is the players do have to scramble after the ball as well. That can be distracting at times after something like that. So nice serve yet again. This time Burnett handles it. Kemp is waiting for that to push it deep down the middle to Brown, who tries to hit the hole, but just a little bit wide. You could see exactly where she was going on that, but she just had too much of an angle. Allett to serve, short to Dutrow, set to the middle. Brown handles it. Outside set to Krakow, goes down to the middle. Another outside set to Williams. Allett handles it. It's a free ball over by Wellsboro. Troy's going to use it this time. And you see a longer hit, and it's just long.
Usually the bleachers on the far end of the gym are open with spectators in them, but that affords more playing room for the players. Everything's in play.
That was a nice hustle by Yagi as the setter. It looks like Troy's running a 5-1 here, so when their setter's in the front row, they're trying to get her to the right side, so she has two hitters in front of her. And her hand, just as she scrambled to stop from falling under the net, she put her hand under the net, and that's what they called there. An attempt at a back row hit. I like to see that aggressiveness. It's just the ball fell a little too far. She was out of position to hit that. Allett serves back over to Dutrow. It is a middle set to Brown, and it pulls Bailey Monks into the net. Delaney Brown back to serve. Deep ball to Krakow. Beautiful pass outside to Kemp, who gets it right back to her, goes down the middle, but in doing so, it appears that number 14, Broman, is in the net. Coming in for Wellsboro, you have Bree Smith for Emma Allett.
And Allett returns to the locker room.
Yes. Bree Smith would be what you'd call a defensive specialist, but because you can only have one libero per game, she has to participate in that substitution. And we'll probably talk about that in between games so we can explain the substitution, because it's going to take too long during a set. Bailey Monks is back to serve right now. Low drive to the back row, a little bit of an overpass. It hits the net, and although Yagi's ready for it, she just couldn't quite get it out of the net, the angle it hit. Low serve, this time shorter. Krakow's ready for that overpass, and she tips it. There's a miscommunication by Troy, and it ends up falling to the floor. Set point, excuse me, not game point. Another miscommunication, and the ball ends up going to the back wall, and Wellsboro takes the first set, 25-14.
Now, as Troy had first serve in that set, Wellsboro would get the first serve in the second set. We want to talk about substitution here. Substitution in volleyball is a little bit tricky. Once a player enters for another player, they are both locked into that position as it rotates for the duration of that set. In basketball, for instance, a player may come in for any player on repeat entries. Not so in volleyball. The second referee and the scorer keep track of entries, as a team may not use more than 18 total in one set. Also, volleyball is pretty much a game of specialization. You're either good at front row or back row. You're either good at hitting, setting, blocking. You can't put a setter in for a hitter. So when you're making your substitutions, you have to follow the rules of engagement here. That rule has changed because now it's 18 total substitutions during one set. Of course, it would change for another set. Back when I was coaching, one player could only be in the match 3 times. Starting the game counted as an entry. So you really had to keep tabs of each individual player and the substitute going in for them. But now it's unlimited substitution, except for somebody at the scores table keeps track, a total of 18 for the team.
Yes. Now, the libero does not count towards that substitution. Whoops, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone with my shield.
We have face shields on, people.
Yes. But the problem with that is they have to, if they go in for somebody there has to be a back row player only that they can go into. They must, if they serve, they can only serve for that position. They cannot go in and serve repeatedly. Same thing, it would be considered out of order. Additionally, they can go in, they may come out of the game and the person they came in for go back in, they have to wait a play, and they can go back in for a different person in the back row. The libero is the only defensive player who can do that. But
so she can play for more than one back row player.
I believe so.
But she may only serve for one.
She may only serve for one.
Yes.
But usually what you have happening is you want your libero, who is the best back row player, you want her in to take the majority of those hard digs, because in essence you're saying your libero is your best defensive player. She's kind of like your defense of your setter. So if it's a free ball, she should be the one taking it. If you're going to have something that's set high, she's not going to hit it, because she's not allowed to come in front of that 10-foot line and handle that ball with her hands. She can only pass the ball in front of the 10-foot line. Okay? And I know it's confusing with the substitutions, but you're locked in, and it's really hard as a coach when you only have 8 or 9 players on a team, and you're looking at a tight match, and you're like, I don't want to use somebody here if I need them elsewhere later. Because again, you're usually using your libero in a set way in the back row, and it makes it difficult if you have a hitter that starts to struggle. So
you might have a serving specialist, somebody you put in just to serve for somebody that's having a bad night.
Yes.
So the substitution rules in volleyball are stringent in some regards, and it's just not like basketball that you can put somebody in there.
And it is tough as a coach, because you do want to play everybody, but you also know as a coach, when we hit the JV and varsity level, it is truly about the win. We are grateful and thankful for having the opportunity to play this year, but it's still competitive ball, because you're always playing to get these kids better. And
plus we have fewer matches this year.
We have fewer matches.
Matches.
Yes. But I just really think Coach Z does a nice job of trying to work people into their specialized positions and let them excel and show where they're at.
Talking a little more about the gym, the main baskets for the basketball court in this gym are able to be elevated high up against the ceiling. And many gyms in our Tioga County school system here, they have the baskets for basketball hanging right down near the end line of the volleyball court.
So during that first volley, you're going to see Wellsboro coming up with the kill off of Emma Owlett. Nice swing outside. There was some really good court play and excellent hustle by Troy there. Bree Kemp is back to serve. I know it's hard to see the numbers as you're watching on your TVs. So deep serve down the middle. Slight miscommunication between 21 and 11, but they've sorted it out. They just discussed it, and they're ready to go again. Dutrow takes that ball. It's outside. It's a little bit of an overpass. You're going to see a little net play, and it results in Wellsboro's ball.
You'll notice the coaches are standing between the attack line and the end line, which is where they're supposed to be. But they're also there closer to the end line because they're calling their players in from the locker rooms, which are beyond the end lines of the volleyball court. We're making all substitutions from the locker room.
Nice serve by Kemp and handled very, very well by Yagi. So I think I misspoke earlier. I think Troy is actually playing a modified 4-2 where their setter is setting out of the right front. I was errant in that when I said it was a 5-1. All that means is that your setter is on the right front so that she always has their power hitters, middle and outside, and you just pass to the right. Wellsboro, on the other hand, plays a 6-2 where your setter's coming from the back row and you always have 3 hitters. The strategy you see there, though, is that Wellsboro is fortunate that their setters are also really good hitters.
Yes, you have to have setters that can hit when they're in the front row.
I know when I was in high school, one year, my junior year, we played a 5-1 and I was the 1. And my senior year, we had a second set of hands that we got to play a 6-2, so I got to hit my senior year. I was kind of happy about that. Nice pass by Yagi. Outside hit by Williams. Free ball, though, after the volley at the net. Middle set, just a bit long by Monks. So yes, as a former setter, I do apologize. The game goes so fast, I frequently don't get to mention the setters, but they're kind of the quarterback on the floor. Burnett has that pass up. Monks pushes it deep. It goes to Yagi into the middle, who sets it to Brown and gets the tip for the point.
Well, in Wellsboro's 6-2 offense, Judlin and Kemp play opposite each other. When one's in the back row, the other one's in the front row, and so forth. So that's another thing you have to try to determine as a coach when you pick your starting lineup. You have to have mirror players. When one goes to the back row, somebody else has to come from the back row forward. They rotate clockwise.
Yeah.
And the positions are across the front, right front, center front, left front, and across the back, right back, center back, and left back.
That pass was, or that reception was center back. You have a volley at the net. It appears that Owlett backed into the net. But yes, it's important to see those as we refer to those positions. Number 23, Thomas, continues to serve Burnett. Beautiful pass. She gets it nice and high. Kemp gets it nice and high. It's a little overpass. Back deep is what Judlin does to push it deep. There's a lot of communication that goes on by both teams, though, especially on Wellsboro. There are times that the flurries so quickly you don't see them switching right away, and that's what makes for an effective team. Owlett serves, and if you could see it, it bobbled because it was a beautiful float, but it just barely crossed the net and was dancing.
One year my team was at the state tournament, and we watched through the finals. Of course, we were eliminated by then, and one team was playing the 5-1 against 6-2. The other team was playing, so it's interesting to see that.
Yes. For Wellsboro coming back into the game, you have Bree Smith in for Emma Owlett. Number 6, Williams, is serving, and it's just a bit long. Coming in for Troy at this time is number 2, Olivia DeMoss, for number 6, Williams. Bailey Monks is serving. Nice and low, just touches the top of the net. It's a bit over. Shiloh Duff gets it. It is dug by Kemp after a block, and it's over. Nice swing by Brown. Middle hit to Shiloh Duff, who cuts it, but Yagi's ready. It free ball scurry. It is just barely clears the net, and Crackle hits the ground trying to get to it. It's a point for Troy.
These teams are providing self-motivation.
Yes.
Yes, there's nobody in the gym cheering, but they're doing a good job of motivating themselves.
Yeah. Back to serve is Brown, deep to it. And Wellsboro struggles to handle it. Dug back up. It ends up being a free ball. That was a nice save by JoJo Judlin. deep hit by Rosanelli. It is handled by Wellsboro. Outside hit by Crocco, and even though there were some swings, nobody touched it, and it becomes Troy's ball. Like, I feel like the speed of the game just picked up a little bit. Judlin goes to handle that ball. It goes just a bit deep. Burnett hustles to get it, and Smith tries to help as well, and it's still just a bit short. Timeout by Wellsboro, as the score is all tied up here.
Okay, the timeouts are 1 minute, and between sets, the time allotment is 3 minutes. The sets themselves are not timed. As we've said, you have to play at 25 points with a 2-point margin. The exception being the fifth game, if it is required in the match, the fifth game, or the fifth set, I should say, is to 15 points with a 2-point margin. Two timeouts per team per set.
Brown serving. Burnett handles it nice and high. Judlin hits from that weak side. We call it weak because she's a right-hander, and so it's not her strong hand to be on the outside there, but she handles it well. Brings that kill. Judlin back to serve. Nice deep serve. That too floats a little bit. One of the things you can see with a float serve, you'll know it's floating if the ball is not spinning coming off their hand. And the nice thing with these new stripe balls, you can see if it's spinning, then it's gonna dive. But if it's not spinning, it floats and wiggles, and you can't see it as an audience member. Great save there at the net by Wellsboro. Tip and block. That was kind of a crazy point.
When you coached, were they allowed to have colors on the volleyball? They had to be pure white when I coached.
Pure white.
When do you think that changed? When did you finish coaching?
Within the last 3 years, I think that changed. And part of it was because of this, that it was hard to read those float balls and stuff.
Okay.
That is what USA Volleyball has used for, I want to say 10 years, which is what club volleyball is. And so they went to more of a universal, because there are so many more kids specializing sports-wise, and you have a number of these players who do play in the off-season for club teams in the area.
Well, we bought some green paneled volleyballs for practice, but we weren't allowed to use them in the games or matches.
Yes. No, I think it was within the last 3 years. I know we have a couple of volleyball coaches listening here tonight. If we're wrong, feel free to text me. Judlin serves just a bit long that time.
That's the thing about coaching any sport. When you get your rule book for the new set of rules, there's always one or two changes. One or two changes might be slight, but they change the strategy of the game.
It does. Yagi serves. It's low and deep. So it heads back to Wellsboro. This time Owlett is coming back in for Smith. Excuse me. Crocco back to serve. She serves down the line. It is handled by Williams. Outside set to, and a big block. That went straight down. Rosanelli had a beautiful swing, but Duff and Kemp were there as a wall. This time to the right back. Ball is passed nice and high. It is a back row hit. You could see the libero kept her feet on the ground. She didn't jump, so it's legal. Owlett hits from the outside, but mistimes her jump and is on the floor when she swings. Coming into the game for Wellsboro is number 9, Alina Petrick. I did follow up. That is how you say the last name this time. Olivia Crocco is out. So, serving for Troy is number 21, Rosanelli. Beautiful serve right down to Petrick, who tries to control it and goes just a bit outside. This is the hard part, is that's where she's been serving, but because the girls are in the locker room, they can't be prepared for what has previous service has done.
Situational awareness is non-existent because of the COVID rules.
Okay, so what just happened there was Petrick got it up. It came right directly at Shiloh, who just kind of tried to get out of the way and punched at it and went over. It is legal the way she just punched at it with a closed fist. It went over, it came back towards the net, and they hit it down. Burnett is back to serve. So in that situation, she's actually serving for Shiloh Duff. And that's the only position she can serve for. Outside to Williams, who goes down the line deep at Burnett, who's ready to handle it, gets it to the setter of Judlin, who Owlett hits it. She likes those tight balls, and it went right down almost by the 10-foot line. Those tight net things, she does well with those. She can jump right straight up. Burnett, nice serve down the line. It is handled, free ball by Troy. Burnett has a nice high pass to Kemp this time. They set. It is just a bit long in the corner, but it was a beautiful approach and swing. Burnett handles that serve. Ball goes to our setter. Owlett tips it. There's a scurry. Wellsboro switches. It is tipped by Braun. Scurry again by Wellsboro. Outside hit to Owlett, who goes cross court. Doug. Outside hit to Williams, who is blocked, but she pokes it right back up. Problem is that they said 35 was in the net, which is Braun. That was great net play that time, too. Kemp serves right straight down to Yagi, who handles it. There's a oh, that did not look good. That was an ankle. Bailey Monks is down with an ankle injury. Alexis Kreiner is our trainer who is out with Bailey at this time.
It's so easy to do in volleyball when you're jumping and you come down and there's a player across the net from you. A rolled ankle is a frequent volleyball injury.
During an injury, the players are asked to always clear the floor just to give space to both the player and the support staff. She's getting up. They're supporting her as she goes off. She's not putting much weight on that ankle right now, but they're going to take her back to the athletic training room. If we hear anything further, we'll let you know. Coming from the locker room at this point in time is number 30, Emily Starkweather. She's reporting into the table to say that she's going in for Bailey. Referees have called for the game to resume. And the girls for Wellsboro are trying to explain some stuff to Emily so she knows where she's at, and they're double checking the lineup to make sure everybody's in the right positions.
And Emily's a sophomore.
Kemp serves. That is a low serve to number 11, Dutrow. Wellsboro digs that ball. Petrick did that. It is a backside or weak side hit by Judlin that just goes a bit long. Thomas back to serve. She serves deep. Petrick tries to handle that, and you have Judlin who scurries after it, but the ball hits the floor before she can get there. Nice low. Petrick handles that outside to Judlin, who pokes it over. It is a beautiful swing by Rosanelli. She's
Wellsboro needs to do something to change the momentum now.
yes.
Troy has scored the last 3 points after a 19-12 lead when Bailey Monks went down with an injury.
Judlin passes high. It's a bit tight. Kemp calls for help. Starkweather tries to help, but it's too tight to the net.
And Wellsboro will take a timeout.
When you have a team leader like Bailey who goes down with an injury, it usually shakes a team a little bit. So as a coach, you have to try to keep everybody focused because everybody is worried.
That's right.
You become family on a team.
Coach Sahusky will get them all focused again and back in because they can't lose, at this point, they can't lose the momentum that is so important in volleyball.
Yes.
At the scorer's table, we have the timekeeper, which is Louis Sahusky, and the scorekeeper is Peggy Adams, and tonight's libero tracker is Darcy Warner. And as I said before, spots in the gym are at a premium because a total of 25 is all that is allowed.
Okay. Now, it looks like tonight, Troy, they have their red masks around their neck, while Wellsboro has the same kind of greenish black camouflage ones. So when they're in the huddle, they wear those. Nice pass by Petrick. Outside, beautiful swing by Judlin. Free ball by Troy. It goes down to Burnett, who gets it nice and high to Kemp. Middle hit to Starkweather. It is handled by Troy. Deep back row swing, but Burnett is there. Ooh, that was so close. I thought that might have caught the line. Outlet went deep corner, and I thought it was a little closer than they anticipated, but it was just still a bit wide. I was like, ooh, I think it's in. No, it wasn't. Okay. Thomas, another nice deep set. That pass hits the basketball hoop that is in the ceiling, and the ladies who were chasing it had to come back to the court, but it falls and hits the ground. This game has narrowed quickly.
Oh, there's a break for the Hornets, a momentum shift.
Yes. Coming out of the locker room is Crocco, who's going in as you see Petrick gets to the front row, and she heads back to the locker room. Owlett serves deep. It is a cross-court hit by number 6, Tyra Williams. That was actually a really beautiful swing. Out of the locker room comes Bree Smith in for Emma Owlett. She assumes her back row position, and Williams is back to serve, and she serves right down to Burnett, who passes it nice and high. Outside hit by Crocco. Troy handles it, gets it outside to 21 Rosanelli. It goes a little bit long on her hit. She was trying to hit that back middle deep. So Starkweather's back to serve. Troy handles it, and Brown gets the floor in that middle position. Libero goes back in for Starkweather. And Brown goes back to serve. She goes for the deep corner, but misses just a slight wide as Judlin calls it out.
And that's a break for the Hornets now. At 22-20 in the second set, we need to put this one away.
Yes. Judlin serves nice and low. It looks like it's going to hit the net and then just goes just enough over. It's a sweet little serve. It is handled and passed by Wellsboro, hit out of the middle by Duff, set up outside. It is blocked by Wellsboro. Duff goes
Very
to put
good.
it down. And
Good network.
It finds the floor. It is find the floor. Boy, that was great English. It's hard not to get excited when the game gets excited, I'll tell you what.
Well, if I were a spectator and the gym was full, I'd be screaming, but I'm not supposed to.
Judlin serves, and it's just a bit wide here. Well, a little more than a bit, but it was wide.
Every time the ball is served, a point is scored.
Yes, Yagi's back to serve right
Very
now.
important to get the serve across and in.
It really is. Burnett, beautiful passing by Burnett. Of course, you expect that of your libero. It is an outside, beautiful hit by Rosanelli. Crocco hits into the short hole that's there. It is set back outside to Rosanelli, who goes just a bit long. You see a different confidence right now in the swinging that's going on with Troy. In for the Hornets is Owlett, and Bree Smith heads back to the locker
Set
room.
point.
Crocco to serve. And what happened there, she didn't like the height of it. She is allowed to do that once per service, like she had to hit it that time. Troy puts it over as a free ball. Burnett gets it high to Judlin. It is a swing by Duff, but she was a little early on her approach, and so she ends up overrunning the ball. Back to serve is Rosanelli. It is a low serve. Crocco handles that. It goes to the middle. Kemp pushes it to the corner. Rosanelli handles it. Yagi digs that up. You have Thomas that handles it. Outside to Owlett. Outside to Williams now. Crocco attempts to try to get that ball, and it just gets beyond her. It is Troy's point. It is a 1-point ball game. Coming in for Wellsboro is Lena Petrick. Crocco's headed out. That was a very fast front row for Crocco. We've had kind of back and forth this entire time. Another good serve. Burnett handles it. Set outside to Owlett. Owlett hits that cross court. It is handled in free ball. Judlin passes to Kemp, who gets it to Duff. Duff goes down the pipe. It is handled by the libero, outside by Williams. Another good pass by Petrick, outside to Owlett. It is tipped all the way through. It had to be taken over at that point in time.
Oh.
Wellsboro, a little bit of a scramble, overpass. Deep ball, Troy setting it up, beautiful set. Number 14, Broman, to hit that. Kemp tries to tip it. Wellsboro slightly out of position, but they're able to get back and free ball it over. Troy uses this, sets it back to number 23, Thomas. There's a tip by Duff. Outside set by Williams. Outside hit this time to Owlett. It is attempted block, and it
Beautiful.
sits between them, and that is the game.
That's as close as they can get without going over 25 people.
That was a beautiful volley with a lot of smart decisions being made, but aggressive, assertive volleyball there. I'll be curious to see if Troy continues that momentum as you can see them getting more and more confident with each
they can
swing.
capitalize off that, and you know, they aren't out.
Yes. I did notice they swung into it. Looked more like a 5-1 that time. So it may vary with who they have on the floor at any given moment. So
The most misunderstood rules, I think, are the center line can be crossed as long as part of the foot touches the center line or the body part, whatever. So your whole foot can be across the line as long as your heel is touching the line. When I was coaching, I had parents behind me in the stands screaming at the officials because they missed a foot fault on the center line. And I started issuing programs, and the back page of the program had the basic rules on it, and the title of that page was Cheer Intelligently, because I didn't like the Hornet fans yelling at the referees. I wanted to be in their good graces. And another one that's difficult for people to remember is that a blocked ball is not a hit. So if the ball comes across and you block it upwards and comes down, you can play it again.
Same person can play it again,
or
yeah.
it can ricochet back and your teammates can play it, and that would be the first hit. So a blocked ball doesn't count as a hit.
And almost anything goes now on a serve. Like, you can handle it any way. You can put it in your hands. You can almost carry it. It's kind of crazy how they just want to try to get the game, because the service is becoming so hard that they kind of let you, where a lot of things used to be lifts and carries, they've minimized some of that.
And people that aren't used to playing volleyball and aren't quite, haven't played, and maybe their daughter's just on the team for the first time or something, you want to hit the ball with your hand open. Beginners want to make a fist and strike the volleyball that way. But you open your hand up and spread your fingers and hit the ball with the palm. And it's much more effective. So maybe if you haven't noticed that before, you'll notice it while they're serving, spiking, whatever. A nice wide surface with an open hand. Well, they didn't want to use all 3 minutes between sets, and the referees will be charged with starting the third set in the match as soon as the teams are ready.
Okay. So starting this third set, you still have Emily Starkweather, who is in for Bailey Monks. They have
now we mentioned the positions, right front and center front and so forth. You have to be in your rotation position at the time of the serve, and then you can move, and that's called interchanging. But at the time of the serve, you have to be in that spot, then they can move.
Wellsboro receives that ball from the serve. You see number 23. Oh my, beautiful hit. Thomas set that outside. Beautiful hit. Thomas back to serve. Burnett handles it. Judlin sets it. It is tipped over by Alex, scrambled by Troy. It is a free ball. Beautiful pass. Back set to Kemp, who goes to go cross court, but it's too far back and hits the antenna. So it looks, at least from these initial couple of plays, that Troy is going to try to jump on this right away. Pass by Kemp's a little bit wide for where Judlin is, but they get it controlled. Troy controls it, but it was a little long by Rosanelli. Kemp serves right to Dutro. Nice middle set. Krakow goes up and it finds the floor as it bounces off Brown's hands. Now, you said in the last game that Kemp was like ace leader last year. Dig by Starkweather, but it just goes a bit wide. That was an effective tip by Troy. Williams back to serve. Starkweather handles that. It's a bit outside. Kemp tries to save it, but it hits the referee's chair. There's an attempt by Judlin, and it's just missed.
Everybody's going to have to step up their game on the Wellsboro side.
Yeah. Petrick's coming into the game for Starkweather. Judlin digs that up. Petrick takes the free ball over. It is handled by Dutrow. Set to the middle to Brond. Judlin passes it up. It is set outside, but not quite far enough outside, so it's free balled. Back set is a bit tight for Yagi, who tries to keep from going under the net and eventually has to tiptoe underneath. Starkweather back in for Petrick.
Wellsboro needs to continue attacking the ball. We're having too many free balls here, and a free ball is when the hit sends it across the net without being spiked.
Yes. Ooh, beautiful ace. I think that did some movement too, because the two Troy players looked at each other and I think they thought it was going deeper than it actually did. Owlett serves again. Nice and low, this time to the other side. So Troy has to use a free ball to keep it in play. Burnett is going to pass this beautifully to the setter. Starkweather takes the swing. Troy tries to use it, and the attempted tip over by Yagi hits the top of the tape. This time, the serve has some top spin. Owlett handles the back tip. Judlin pushes it. Yarrow tips it to an empty spot. Starkweather hits outside. It is set cross court to the middle. Brond hits the hole, and as they scurry, they keep trying to get the ball up, and it's Troy's ball. Bree Smith in for Emma Owlett.
Yeah.
Okay. Delaney Brond to serve. Burnett handles that. The tip is pushed deep. Outside pass, but it's a nice pass, so Rosanelli uses it, does the roll shot. Starkweather hits across court. Troy handles it. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful swing by Rosanelli, handled by Wellsboro. You have Starkweather who hits it again. Troy uses it off the block. It's an overpass, and Roman handles it, but Wellsboro finally gets it deep. I believe it was Krakow, as I'm trying to look at names here to get the right people, and it is Wellsboro's ball. Krakow back to serve. Low serve, and it goes just sideways, but beautiful hustle by Rosanelli, who tries to go into that area. If we did have those bleachers out, she'd never be able to get there, but I love the fact that the girls are using every bit of the space that they have been given as a result of our situation. Whoops, I think somebody called for somebody too soon, so they're going back to the locker room. All right, I guess I missed what happened there. So, Yagi serves right down the line. Smith, beautiful pass. Starkweather actually passes it over. It is back set by Yagi, who we see, I don't know what that number is, 23, pushes it down the line. Wellsboro passes a little too tight to the net, and so it is another point for Troy. Yagi serve goes to Burnett. Burnett gets it to Kemp, who hits it way outside. Judlin, beautiful cross-court hit. It's an attempted back row spike by Williams that doesn't quite make the net. Number 2, Olivia DeMoss is in for Williams. Williams heads back to the locker room. Judlin, beautiful serve, gets the ace. Another beautiful serve, handled by Dutrow. Back set by Thomas and finds the hold. Rosanelli back to serve. Nice low serve. She likes that spot. This time Wellsboro hustles after it. Starkweather saves it beautifully. Troy uses it. Number 2. DeMoss tries to swing outside and is just under the ball, and it goes a smidge long there. Back into the game now. We have 2 substitutes. And because they have to keep their distance, one actually is supposed to enter at the net. They're not supposed to shake hands here. So you see Petrick coming in for Starkweather and Owlett in for Smith. And on Troy's side, you have Williams coming back in for Demas. Petrick to serve. Beautiful pass by Yagi. It is free balled over. Petrick handles it. It is an outside swing. She gave it everything there by Owlett, and it is able to...
That's what it takes. Somebody make a big play, and then that's a momentum shifter.
Yes. Beautiful serve by Petrick. Had beautiful top spin.
Whoa.
That was beautiful top spin. That just dove after it crossed the net.
When I coached, that was an illegal serve. That was a beautiful serve now.
It's a beautiful serve now, yeah. That time she goes the other way. Troy scrambles and gets it over. Wellsboro's using it as a free ball. Duff comes in, and Duff is there to block it as the attempted tip was made by Thomas. A little bit more of a floater this time. Yagi handles it to the middle. Number 14, Roman, was ready, and that was perfectly timed, and it is a kill.
Reminder, this is a 25-point set.
So the Wellsboro has taken the lead. We're seeing this is a tight match back and forth here. Retro serve. Oh my goodness, so beautiful. Oh wow, what an amazing.
Wow, what a play. Reflexes.
Oh, I wish we had instant replay to show that one again. That serve was amazing. It had no spin on it, and it completely dropped after it crossed the net. And the scramble by Wellsboro to get that up, amazing. All right, Burnett, beautiful serve. Troy handles it. It is hit by Williams. Outside set to Owlett, who swings. Wow, that was perfectly timed right there. Perfect pass, set, hit. That's how you execute a play. And beautiful. Burnett goes the other way this time. It is outside. Roll shot by Williams. Back set to Kemp. Dug by Yagi. Middle set to, oh wow, what a nice swing, and blocked by Crocco.
It's not impossible to play the ball out of the net, but it's hard.
Yeah, it appears 35, Braun may have just rolled her ankle a little bit, bobbled her ankle, but she's gotten up and had told the girls across the net she was fine. So set to the middle is Braun. The girls are trying to reset here on Troy's side. Wellsboro's trying to capitalize on this run that they have off of Burnett's serves.
Well, you have some choices when you're the server. You really shouldn't hit it just right to a player. They're going to hit it back at you. So serving to a seam would be a good idea. Or serve it somewhere where you're going to make somebody move to have to receive it. Serve it to the player that made the last mistake. Serve it to a player who just came into the game cold. Serve it to the shorter angle, giving less time for adjustment. A long diagonal serve will afford more reaction time. Serve to the court area most likely to force the difficult reverse set to the best hitter. So there's a lot of considerations when you're serving the ball. You're not just bashing it across the net. You are trying to serve with a purpose. Some coaches tell their players where to serve it, which player to serve it to.
I had some players who asked me to do that. because they were like, just don't make me think, tell me where to serve it. So we had numbers and we'd throw numbers and they knew what zone those numbers were for. There was others that were like, oh no, let me do it. I'm like, absolutely. Beautiful ball handling there by Dutro. Wellsboro gets it back. Alec with swing. Beautiful job. I can't believe they, whoops, I didn't say that. There we go. They got that up. It's still in play. And a little bit long by Wellsboro. I thought they would have called that one as a carry. Because even Williams did. She stopped and looked because she just put her hand up instinctually.
Good reflexes.
And I think, yeah, I think she thought she carried it. All right, number 23 serves that, Thomas. Free ball by Wellsboro, tip ball, and they catch Troy just not quite prepared in that transition. Kemp back to serve. I do want to say, give some acknowledgement to the JV volleyball team here in just a moment. Nice pass by Troy. Set up by Wellsboro, outside hit by Owlett. It catches the top of the net and falls short as a result. Kemp goes deep with that. Yagi tries to save it, and she does. And you see that number 21, Rosanelli, hits that back line. Williams back to serve. Oh, her serve's a bit low and it spins to the bottom of the net.
Now in the old rules, that would have just meant a side out.
Yes.
In the new set of rules with the rally scoring, a missed serve gives a point to the other team.
Nice top spin by Emma Owlett. Saved by Troy. Passed up by Starkweather, set back, and it is a tip by Judlin, saved by Troy, set back up by Kemp, back row hit by Burnett, who had to keep her feet on the floor. Free ball by Judlin. Troy back sets to, nice hit by Yagi. Set to the middle to Krakow. Oh, she's a bit underneath that. Brown back to serve, and Smith back in for Owlett. She goes to the new person in the game, and that is set outside to Starkweather. Beautiful deep hit. Troy is scrambling. It is beautifully saved.
Awesome save. Awesome
wow,
save.
Nice hustle. It is pushed back over by Kemp. It is down the line to push down the line. Kemp gets it up. Beautiful save by Brond. Oh, good try. And
once
nice
she
hustle
crosses
by
the center
Rosanelli.
line extended, she can't play it back.
And that's a rough rule because in club ball you can cross that line and you can come back. So Krakow serves right down to Dutro. Dutro gets it to the middle. You see Rosanelli hit it up. Tipped by Judlin. It goes to Rosanelli, who is right there swinging hard, and she gets the kill. Yagi with a beautiful low serve. It is overpassed, and Roman was there ready. Wellsboro sets it up. Free ball by Starkweather. Williams sets it, or gets it to the setter, I should say. Williams does a back row hit. Saved there by Burnett. It is up by Troy. Push over the net. Dug by Smith. Shiloh Duff helps set up the outside hitter of Starkweather. And through that scramble, we see Wellsboro comes out with the point. Number 17, Judlin, serves deep down the line. Williams handles it. It is an outside set, a bit long for Rosanelli.
Set and match point.
Short serve this time. Troy handles it. Beautiful hit by Roman to the deep corner. I like the fighting attitude of Troy. Going after everything and swinging still, not playing just defensive ball. I like it. Middle hit by Shiloh Duff. It is a middle set. Tipped over. Judlin handles it outside to Starkweather, who hits the cross court. Dutrow handles that. Set outside. Williams goes to hit. Dug by Burnett. Outside to Starkweather. It's just a bit short. Beautiful serve by Rosanelli. Middle hit by Duff. Blocked by Roman. Deep hit by Kemp. Push over by Thomas. Outside to Starkweather. The block is up. It is put back over by Troy. Pass free balled over to Troy. Williams goes to hit, and it just hits, and that
Match.
is set match. Now the girls have to wave. They are not allowed to they're not allowed to shake hands or the like. I did want to go through the JV volleyball team.
Okay, and then I'll wrap it up with a summary
Sounds
of tonight's
good.
match.
Okay, so for this year's Troy JV volleyball team, coached by Tara Lynn Anderson that you saw earlier this evening, number 89, Lindsay Alexander, number 28, Alexis Bellinger, number 22, Orion Casalang, number 9, Meredith Cole, number 46, Riley Harding, number 20, Rachel Jackson, number 17, Alyssa Johnson, number 18, Rachel Kirkman, number 16, Lydia Lewis, number 38, Isabella McDougall, number 56, Alexandria Newcomb, number 26, Sarah Reed, number 5, Savannah Spencer, number 24, Talika Stahl, 33, Madison Vargas, number 10, Delana Young, and number 15, Sarah Zimmerman. For the Wellsboro Hornets, coached by Jeff Sahusky, you have number 5, Alexa Dunham, freshman, number 6, Jenna Sager, freshman, number 7, Madeline Bordis, sophomore, number 11, Rosalie Ladd, a freshman, number 12, Chelsea Osborne, a freshman, 15, Natalie Cleveland, a freshman, 16, Emma Davis, freshman, 18, Maya Paredes, a freshman, 22, Isabel Andrag, freshman, number 23, Brianna Rathbun, freshman, number 24, Maya Lockett, freshman, number 27, Olivia Chilson, freshman, number 29, Alina Polisar, a sophomore, and number 30, Emily Starkweather, sophomore. Over to you, Coach, for the wrap-up.
We wanted to, even though the JV game was live streamed, we didn't have any commentary during that. The JVs did win tonight. Wellsboro JVs won their first out of 3 matches, beating Troy 25-20 and 25-22, giving first-year coach Jeff Sahusky his first victory out of 3 tries this year. In the varsity, Wellsboro is now 3-0, having won the first set tonight 25-14, the second set 25-23, the third set 25-17. At 19-12 score in the second set, senior captain blocker Bailey Monks, who had just secured her 100th block in her career, which is an awesome milestone, went down with an injury. We haven't heard yet what that injury is and how severe it is. Wellsboro had a little lapse in the play for a while Bailey went out till they realized they could do it, and Emily Starkweather did a fine job coming in her place, and Emily's a sophomore. These 2 teams will meet again because they're both large schools, and it will happen October 29th at Troy. Wellsboro, of course, plays next week. I don't think we have any home matches. Tuesday, September 22nd, will be at Towanda, and the next home match is Senior Parents Night. Usually they're toward the end of the season, but this year it is so uncertain what is happening. They're going to go ahead and do Senior Parents Tribute Night on September 29th when Canton comes here to play. So We're going to wrap it up tonight. This is Coach Jody Niver and Coach Ann McKnight broadcasting the game from the Wellsboro High School gym. And we think we're going to be on the air for all the home matches.
Yeah.
So stay tuned till we next play. Good night.
Have a good night.